Okay. Good morning. Let's hope that you guys, it's morning time. It's early and my eyes can't even focus. Look, I don't know that I should have my face on here. It's good morning. It's Cards and Coffee, Saturday morning. And we woke up late, and so it's just, you guys, everybody take a sip of coffee. It's Saturday morning, and we were running late, and Rich, my husband, was stressed about us getting this set up, and I said, listen, when you get stressed, it makes me stressed, and we can't do this so early in the morning. I don't think he's had any coffee yet. And so good morning. It's Saturday morning. I have such a fun unboxing for you guys. This came yesterday. If you don't know, I go live on Facebook at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I was talking about this arriving on Friday, and I have been so excited. It did get here. And I have to tell you, now, total honesty. I opened the box, and I cut it open and I pulled a little bit of this paper out, but I didn't peek. And I can't tell you how, self-control, because that is so not me. If you're here, say good morning. I don't see any comments coming up, but that might there we go. Paula, good morning. Paula from Minnesota, and Donna, good morning. How is everybody? Do you have your coffee? Do you have your tea? Have you had any breakfast? So this is a true Saturday Cards and Coffee morning. If you have not joined me for Cards and Coffee, it's kind of a funny thing because I live in a family. I have my husband and my two boys, and they are car fanatics. And so many Saturday mornings, they have a thing that's called, they'll get together with cars and things, like car guys and people have, it's not really a car show, but they just get together and it's called Cards and Coffee. So I started Cards and Coffee on Saturday mornings, sometimes when they're off looking at cars. And now it's just expanded that if I feel like it or I have something fun to share, we do Cards and Coffee. So it's very informal. And this is I don't normally have a set technique or anything that I'm set to do. Lots of times it might be an unboxing. And I think people like unboxings. And so if you have questions, ask me questions. And it's just kind of a fun chat and get together. And I like it. It's fun. So Donna's got her hot tea, and she's got oats. That sounds so good. I love my blueberries and oatmeal. So let's get started, because you guys, I have been dying to dig into this box, and you don't know how hard it was for me not to dig in yesterday. So here's what happened. Jamie is the owner at TCW, the Crafters Workshop. And if you don't normally follow me, I love mixed media. Like deep down in my soul, hi Sue, good morning. Deep down in my soul, there's a big part of me that loves the mixed media. I just don't do a lot of it on air. And I had been chatting with Jamie from the Crafters Workshop about the Nashville Craft Retreat, which you all know is I'm organizing for June of this summer, 2022. And I was asking for sponsors, and she and I just started chatting, and we really hit it off. And she's so lovely and generous and kind and supportive of other crafters in the craft industry. And she was very interested in the craft retreat. And she said, a lot of people ask me to do things, and I don't often because it's hard to pick and choose. but we really hit it off. And so on top of being very kind and generous in supporting the Nashville Craft Retreat and sponsoring and giving us a giveaway, she said, let me send you some stuff. And I said, oh, that's so exciting. So not only did she send me stuff, she sent me a ton of stuff, and I am so grateful. So going forward, I think you're going to see me doing a lot more mixed media, like out in the open, on lives and everything. So let's get started. Look at this. Now, I already own a lot of the craft. I own basically all the colors of the Crafters Workshop butters, and not all of them, because I think since I bought mine, they've also come out with these gorgeous metallics. So let's see. This is white modeling paste. Let me get this up here. White modeling paste. So just a normal paste. It gives you dimension, great through stencils. I love paste. I'm huge on paste. This is champagne gold stencil butter. Beautiful luminescent stencil butters. I demoed them on a Cards and Coffee several months ago, and if you have not used them, they're even softer than butter, but they add dimension. They hold their peaks and valleys. You have to let them dry. It's not a huge dry time, but they are. We'll open some and maybe do something quickly in a bit. But they're really amazing. They're like a really soft, room temperature, warm butter. And there's Copper Penny. I'm a fan of copper. Look how gorgeous that is. And this one is Black Tie Stencil Butter. Black Tie Stencil Butter. That might be new because I had not seen that before. And then this one is Pearl White. And I love the pearlosity, a touch of, they're opaque. They're not transparent, but they have a beautiful sheen, just a hint of pearlescent metallic sheen to the stencil butters. They're just gorgeous. You can add water to them. Yes, Sue, you are absolutely correct. I remember way back when Jamie had a store in New York. She is still in New York, and I think it is Elmsford. I spoke to her. We had a Zoom conference call, the two of us. It was so fun, just to chat one morning. And yes, she's in New York. So good morning, Catherine. How are you? Are they like picket fence paper glaze? Catherine, I can't tell you that. Sue asked me months ago if it was similar to Simon Hurley's lunar paste. I don't know. Honestly, I have not used the paper glaze. I have not used the lunar paste. I do know that these are the stencil butters are a water-based butter. And I don't want to say acrylic, but I'm assuming they're acrylic, like a paint. I guess I need to do more research so that I seem more knowledgeable. I apologize. Like I said, I haven't done a lot in front of the camera using these mixed media, but I definitely will. And I promise I'll do more research and I'll be more knowledgeable about exactly what they are. Most paints are acrylic, which is a plastic paint, and so I'm assuming that these are, but they're water-based. I do know that because you can mix water in and you can definitely make it more like a watery, watered down kind of paint. And I even have an idea that I'd like to try. We'll have to see what happens. Black gesso. I will tell you, if I'm doing something, like if I know I'm going to use a water-based dye ink pad, I will just use like a very heavyweight Bristol Strathmore Smooth cardstock, or I'll use a watercolor paper. But if I'm going to be laying down like a first layer of paint, for instance, with the butters and no water-based dye ink, I will almost always gesso. This is a gel medium, not a gesso. Sorry, I assumed it was gesso. It's I will lay down a gesso, which is just, it's kind of priming whatever you're doing, your paper, your chipboard, or your canvas. A gesso just kind of primes it so that your paint or your butters or whatever will better move and adhere to it. And so it's just a primer. Dina Wakely talks about that in all of her work. She almost always gessos everything first. So I like to have a white gesso on hand, and I love to have a black gesso. This is a matte opaque black gesso. I have never used the gesso from TCW, so I'm excited to use that. Oh, there's even one more. Yep, here's the white gesso. Once again, white and opaque. This is a gel medium, a matte gel medium. It's clear. So, and it even says on here, it's great for collage. That's what I was going to say. A gel medium, if you've never used it, if you're kind of new to mixed media and things like this, gel medium is kind of like what Mod Podge, similar to that. It's like a watered down kind of glue, and that might be a very unprofessional way to describe this. I need to get better on all of my terms and sound much more professional, right? You can brush it on and hold down ephemera or rice paper. I have some beautiful rice papers from Stamperia that I need to use. I plan on, here's my goal, making a lot of art for my home. And I have all kinds of ideas for the guest bedroom, bathrooms, large canvases for hallways and the family room and things like that. My husband got me a really nice big easel for Christmas. And so all of these kinds of products are in my mind. This is what I plan to do and what I would like to do. The tissue papers from like Tim Holtz, Dina Wakely, I see 49 in Market has some gorgeous tissue papers out. Gel medium is what you use. You brush it on, you put that down, and I like to put another coat over it also. And I'm sure all of you are familiar with, any crafty person kind of knows what like Mod Podge is, and that's what gel medium. There are many different kinds of gel medium. This one obviously is from TCW, the Crafters Workshop. Some of them have a gloss or a sheen to them. Some are satin. This is matte. I prefer to use a matte most of the time. And let's see, I have another question from Sue. Would you be curious as to how to, I would be curious as to how to use the rice paper. I found a roll in my stash I bought years and years ago. Sue, I'm not an expert at it yet. I've played with it a little bit. It is so fun, and there's some beautiful ones out there. Stamperia is who I have seen personally. Like, I've seen the most gorgeous ones, and I have some. And so yes, we will definitely be using those and talking about those. Look at this. That would be for the Nashville Craft Retreat. Thank you, Jamie. And so that's fun. I'm going to hide that away. And if you're attending the Nashville Craft Retreat, thank you, Jamie. You'll be seeing a giveaway from them. I'm so excited. And I peeked at the invoice, and so I know what's in there, and it's pretty exciting. Now, we're going to get rid of this box, but I have to tell you, look, everything else in here, I don't know if you can see, is all stencils. I am so, if you guys know me, you do know, even for card making, stencils are, they're just everything. And I tell you why I love stencils. Stencils, as you know, they're pretty inexpensive, and there's just, you can add background texture and interest and dimension. And obviously if you use a dimensional product, mixed media product, then you literally add dimension to your projects and your canvases and your cards. And I just adore stencils for so many reasons. And you don't have to be a mixed media artist to use and love stencils. Card makers, we use them all the time, and I'm just pretty obsessed. But look at this. Look. Thank you, Jamie. There are so many ideas. Donna says, going back a minute on the gesso, Can it be used to create stars and snowflakes? Water it down to splatter. Yes. Gesso is, and even the butters, you can do all of that with create splatters, and you can water them down. They're water-based. Gesso also is water-based. I love to use Gesso. You may have seen me many times. I will water down Gesso and use it for splatters on things, especially if you're using a dye-based ink for your backgrounds. As you know, another water-based product will often soak up the color, and the color will come through, and then your white splatters are not white anymore. That's what's awesome about using something like an acrylic paint, a butter, and I have to say, I have to play with the butters, but I'm assuming they won't pick up a dye-based, a water reactive dye-based color that's behind them, but I have not played with them enough to know. I know I've used them through stencils and not watered them down, and they did not pick up the color underneath. But I don't know, when you really water them down, are they going to layer, or will they pick that water reactive dye up? I don't know yet, but I do know Gessos are a go-to for adding splatters to something like your cards with a water reactive dye ink behind them. They will not pick up that color. So Gessos are fantastic for that. Let's see, stars and snowflakes, yes, and snowflakes and things. And here's the other thing. I believe I already have, let me see. I have a whole drawer of all kinds of mixed media things, and I'm pretty sure somewhere down here, I have already, I have to find it. Oh, here it is. It's back here on my shelf. Can you see? I have all my stencil butters up here. They're gorgeous, all the colors. This is called Tacky When Dry from TCW. It's a gel medium. And what you do is you use it on a project, and it dries transparent, I believe. And what happens is it stays a little bit sticky, and then you can use foil over top of it. As long as you're using the correct foil that you don't need heat, you use foil and you can add foil to projects if you use this. So like, we could put this through a stencil, you could just brush it on, you could use anything, and once it's dry, it stays sticky, and then you can use the correct foil to add foil to your mixed media projects. So fantastic. I'm really excited to use this. I already owned it, but I haven't used it yet. But I mean, I love to add foil to anything, and this is going to be fantastic. So back to Donna's question about stars, it made me think of using this. I would use this through a stencil and then use foil. How pretty would that be? Or even if you have like a silvery foil for snowflakes, things like that, Donna, this would be exciting. So you could, and if you wanted, I don't want to say this because I don't know, but I'm going to say, if for like you wanted to use more of a stencil butter or a paste for even more dimension on the stars and things, then you could brush this on Tacky When Dry and then add some foil to it for an even like greater pop. And one other thing, real quick, did you guys know that I have paste here? Yes. Did you know that, and I'm assuming it works with this paste too, that while paste is wet, you can add embossing powder to it, put embossing powder over it, you know, tap it off like you normally do, let it dry, and then heat it. And then you've got, you know, especially like if you're using wow embossing powders that have the glitter in it, you can add embossing using paste. Some people know that, some people don't. Let me see. Oh my gosh, there's lots of comments here. Stencils are great tools for card making. Absolutely. Donna's got her second cup of tea. And then all those stencils, can't wait to see the future tutorials with them. Yes. So let's talk about these. The most recent release from the Crafters Workshop, TCW, they added Slimline Stencils in. And these, we might have to play with these a little bit. Aren't they gorgeous? Look at this gorgeous feather. Stunning. turtles, butterflies. These are perfect for slimline cards. And whether you use any of the stencil butters or anything, can you imagine just ink blending with your inks through here? But then once you see the stencil butters, I mean, you know, just like a paste on the front of cards. I mean, absolutely fantastic. I know this looks like a Zentangle almost. Just loving the slimline. And, you know, you don't have to use the whole thing. You could use this stencil on a normal A2 card, but it is a 4x9 stencil. So fantastic. This is the newest release from TCW. And then here's the, and there's another one. I love that one, especially for journals, for, like I said, a large canvas, things like that, adding texture. That one is called the punch card. Okay. Now, did you know they have 12x12 and 6x6 stencils? And many times, if you like a design or a pattern in one, they will offer it in both. And I will tell you why. Many times, if I have an idea in my head for a piece of artwork, I will order both, like a large canvas, I will order both. And even a big journal, like if you have a 9 by, I don't know what size the journals are, I'm thinking of my Dina Wakely one, like maybe a 9x7, or hi Susan, good morning. Glad to have you here for Cards and Coffee. Right, this morning is stencils and all kinds of mixed media fun and coffee. I will often order the large one and the smaller one. And kind of, if you want to know why, think about it. If you do mini albums or scrapbooks, and you know the 12x12 paper has it's a bigger pattern, so you've got a larger page to fill, so you need that. But if you know you're doing a mini album and you want the 6x6, it's the same pattern, but they shrink it down a little bit. Same idea with these stencils for me. If I plan on doing a larger canvas, like I said, the artwork for my home, then I want a much bigger pattern, or even on a bigger journal, or, you know, that I've got. Sometimes you want maybe I just want this, or even just this. But if I'm using it on a card or a smaller journal, I love that I've got the option, that I've got the shrunk down image. Crafting support personnel. I love that. Hello, crafting support personnel. Stencil butter, yes, kind of similar but different. Where did I miss a question about stencil butter? Has a video describing TCW stencil butter, showing the difference in uses for these and other glaze types. Yes, I have watched that. I think
she was asking about Picket Fence Studio.
Oh, the Picket Fence Studio glaze.
It is very
my husband's helping.
Different applications.
Mm-hmm.
Or similar applications, but that whole video was good. I had to link the video, but I don't know if you want to post it here.
Okay. Yeah, link that video if you want to. My husband came in, he was like getting me up to speed. And yes, there is, it might be Lydia, I'm not sure, does the video for Simon Says Stamp. And she does talk about, I think you're right, she does talk about Picket Fence Studio paper glaze. I've seen that video. And it's definitely a good introduction and kind of compares and contrasts them. So thank you for, the crafting support personnel is going to post the link there. My husband actually, I think, said he might post it too. Thank you to CSP for that. I totally forgot about that. I had seen that video. And, you know, YouTube, all those places, scrapbook.com sells TCW. And I will say, I need to plug in here. My friend, you know, I will always support the small brick and mortar stores before I will, even though I have affiliate accounts at scrapbook.com and Cherry on Top and all those. And I don't get any kind of affiliate for supporting Valley Stamp and Scrap. Valley Stamp and Scrap is my go-to brick and mortar store. You can go online, and maybe my husband will post their link in here in the comments too, and then we'll get it in the notes at the end. Valley Stamp and Scrap, my friends Linda and Ed Weiss own that store in Wisconsin. It is a small brick and mortar store. They specialize in mixed media. That's their focus. They love TCW. They have a full line of supplies. So please, 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 if you want to shop for TCW supplies today, we always want to support our brick and mortar stores. And Linda has a full range of supplies, and she has an online store. I do know if you spend $69 or more, you get free shipping. So it's a fantastic place to shop. And whereas I do love it when people click my links, because all affiliate money is no cost to you, but I donate every single penny. And obviously in the near future, I'm going to be donating to maybe Samaritan's Purse or someplace that we can support everybody in Ukraine who is fighting desperately for their lives and their sovereignty and their country. And so if you are so inclined to shop at the bigger online stores, I have all those links on my blog, but I would love it if you would go and support Linda and Ed at Valley Stamp and Scrap. They, like I said, are fantastic people. They're also sponsors of the Nashville Craft Retreat, and we love them dearly and we want to support them. So anyway, back to this. That's why, honestly, I will many times order a 12 by 12 and a 6 by 6 because, and you can even use them together on the same project or whatever, but definitely because of what I want to do and I plan on doing and all the different projects that I always have going on in my mind, I like to have both sizes. So you'll see in a lot of these, I have 6 by 6, and this one is in my mind for like guest bedroom with the rice paper that I talked about. You know, I like to have the Baroque kind of swirls and text and things like that for extras. So there's one. I have this in my mind. I'd like to create my own sign because at the Nashville Craft Retreat, we're going to have coffee because I'm a coffee fanatic and I want to make my own sign for the coffee bar. I think that'll be lots of fun. So there are lots of, they call it the rustic decor for like the farmhouse inspired signs. And they even have panels. I don't know the name of them, but that you can buy from TCW to get you started if you want to create. And they have a whole line of these kind of farmhouse inspired signs that you can create. I know, isn't that awesome, Donna? So I will definitely be making my own kind of sign. If you know me, you know I love koi. And let's see while we're going if there's any of these 6 by 6s that coordinate. Yep, I bought the small one and the large one. I am a super fan of Japanese art and I love koi. So I bought both of those. And then I think any kind of mixed media or Tim Holtz fan, you have to have numbers because it's just a good kind of background interest texture thing to add in. So I bought both of those. I'm sorry, I did not buy these. I will be honest. The stencil butters you see behind me that I already owned, I purchased all those on my own. I have lots of TCW stencils also, but Jamie did send these to me and didn't ask anything of me. She didn't ask me to post. She didn't ask me to do this unboxing. She didn't ask me to, she would love for me to create with them, but she was very supportive and just said, I'm going to send you a bunch of stuff. Do what you want with it. So I love that. And I am very grateful because, you know, I'm going to be using them. Both of these. This one is called, I mean, you can't do mixed media and not have bubbles, right? Or circles. This one is from Gabrielle Polacco. I follow her. I love her. This is called Bubble Rebound. She designed this one. And by the way, not that she ever asked, but I offered. Jamie, I actually gave her a couple of ideas that I would love to see in stencils and not just stencils, but in products. So we'll see if she was very open to, one thing I told her, I thought she was a breath of fresh air because she is a company owner who was interested in what I'm looking for and what I haven't seen or I don't see enough of that I would like to use in my artwork. And she was very open to my ideas and my thoughts on products. And so thank you, Jamie. There are some companies that you kind of offer an idea and they're like, no. and they don't seem very open to listening to what crafters kind of want. And I don't think that's a very good business model, but I don't own my own business, so not my place. But Jamie, breath of fresh air, she was very open to listening to things that I would love to see in products, both stencils and in mixed media products. So love this. Can you imagine? Like, this is called Mini Moving Vines. This is by Gabrielle also, or Gabriella, however she pronounces it. This is the Mini Moving Vines, and this is obviously moving vines. And here's some pictures from the back. Obviously, you can use it in like a greenery kind of way. I mean, or just for interest. Of course, you could do any colors, but also I was thinking in an ocean, because you turn it this way and it kind of looks like kelp, right? So that was kind of my idea here. Is someone, either crafting support personnel or my hubby, if you would, I don't think I've missed it. I hope I haven't missed any, but everybody's quiet now. So sometimes you're thinking when you're quiet, but post that link for that video, please. That would be fantastic. Donna, we talked about stars, and I can see you using the vines with your fairy. I know it, with the Lavinia stamps. If you go, and maybe crafting support personnel. Well, oh, that's you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. You guys. Oh my gosh. CSP is my husband. I thought it was some random crafter on here helping me out, giving me ideas and support. No, it's my hubby. So just so you know, CSP, he's got a new, on top of all the other hats he wears, he's CSP. Okay, thank you, CSP. We'll go and add it later. We'll have to find it. It's from Simon Says Stamp. CSP is my husband, just so you know. Otherwise known as Ricardo to many of you.
Video on the taste?
Huh? If you do a search on YouTube, it's a Simon Says Stamp, and she's introducing TCW stencil butters and kind of.
Posted it already.
Oh, he posted it. He's not paid very well, but man, he's good. He is so good. Thank you, CSP. I always said I needed a Sue crafter, so he's good. We'll keep him around. No, I'm glad he didn't go to Cars and Coffee today, right? So here's the stars, Donna. This one is called Random Stars. Random Stars. Gotta have stars. And then there's that one. Now, I and mixed media, I love. Okay, let me give away something that I'm working on. Dina Wakely introduced me to asemic writing, ASEMIC. If you don't know what asemic writing is, Google it or go on Pinterest. There's all kinds of, I'm a little obsessed with asemic writing, and it's going on behind the scenes, and you'll see it maybe sometime in the next few months. This stencil is basically asemic writing. It doesn't even have to be real letters. It can be images that give you the idea of writing, but it has no rhyme or meaning. And if it is real writing, you probably don't want people to read it. So, but it's an art form, is the basic way to do it. And Dina Wakely talks about asemic writing in her videos, and I'm a little obsessed. Thank you, Dina, for turning me on to that and going down that rabbit hole. But that's why I needed this stencil. Fantastic. Love it. This one is called Messy Writing. This one is from Balzer, Julie Faye Fan Balzer. She's a fabulous mixed media artist. I'm sure you guys all know her. So there's the video link. This one is called Petal Burst. So cool. Love that. This one is from Gabrielle also. It's called Tile Mania. This one I think is a must-have. Like, I went looking for this one and definitely decided you always need something like this. And if you don't have something like this in your stash, you need it. Sue, I did say, yes, my Lavinia fairies, that vines, absolutely. And that's why I needed the 6x6. Here's another one that I think is a good standard kind of basic you need in your stash. Mini sheet music, especially with rice paper and things like that. I think it's just, you know, and I think there might be a 12 by 12. I just didn't get it asked for it. 12 by 12 of that one too. Look at this one. Fantastic, basic, mixed media, must have, kind of, whether you're using ink for cards, a more kind of funky, grungy feel for cards, or vintage or mixed media. It reminds me of Tim Holtz kind of style. Whether you use paste, butters, inks, I think this is a fabulous for your stash. Everybody needs a wood grain, right? For cards or mixed media canvases or whatever. And then obviously you have to have the like a Harlequin, kind of grungy Harlequin. And I will tell you also, you know, a lot of companies are releasing stencils. And let's talk about this for a second. A lot of companies are releasing stencils, but I don't know why, but they're kind of doing a smaller, like A2 size stencil. I don't know about you, but from one crafter to these companies, if they would listen, you must always do a 6x6, in my opinion, because I want it to go off the edge of my A2 card, or even some other kind of funky size, or maybe even a mini slimline. If we take it right to it, like a 3x6 mini slimline now, I need a 6x6 stencil. I don't want an A2 size stencil. Just so you know, if anybody out there in the designing world is listening, I don't want a smaller one. I know some of our favorite people do release smaller ones, and I get that. That's their business model, and that's what they like, things like that. I personally want a 6x6. So, and I am kind of obsessed with the 12 by 12s right now too. So I want personally the 12 by 12 and the 6x6. Like, I just love it. And if you know me, I love the Slimlines also. So you guys want to play with these a little bit? Yay, nay, what are you thinking? I'm kind of excited. Let's do just a little bit. And I agree even with paper pads. I would love to see. Sue, 100% agree. I don't want a 6x6 paper pad. Now that because think about it. Here's the other thing in an 8x8 paper pad. I can get two, because lots of times I layer. If I do a 4 1/4, then I can get one normal A2 size and then maybe a smaller one, or like a mini or something like that. But if lots of times I'm layering. So if I do a 6x6, or I'm sorry, let's say I have a panel that I'm going to do 4 by 5 1/4, I can get two 4-inch size panels out of an 8x8 paper pad. 6x6 is not my favorite. I want 8x8. That I agree with you 100%. I love 8x8 pads. Okay, so Tammy says, show us some things in action. Okay. What do you guys want to do? The feather, or what do you want to see? You want butterflies? You know me. Let's go for a butterfly first. I'm going to pull out my Bristol Strathmore Smooth paper, because you all know I love it. Oh, Sue said the feather. We'll see. Hold on, Sue. I'm already committed to the I don't even know what this is, this paper. Oh, I've got some. Good. I've got my favorite Bristol Strathmore Smooth mixed media paper. You guys know I love this. It can take water. It can take the butters. It can take a lot of abuse. And so let's just use this for right now and see how it goes. Now, I could put gesso down using the stencil butters. I'm not going to today. Something else we can do is we can add some ink behind here. We could use, if you have, what are they called? You guys help me out. From TCW, they have the, I was thinking about it earlier today, and I have some. I just don't know where they are off the top of my head. I think they're in my craft closet. They're the powders that you put down and you add water to. Don't I sound like a dummy? I'm sorry. What are those called? And then you add water to it, and it's magical. Oh shoot, you guys, I wish I'd pulled those out. Let's let's do this. Let's just add some quick gesso because I think it's stunning, but it's not going to dry in time. Never mind. Let's add some quick dye-based ink to the background just so we have some color. Here I am not able to make a decision. Don't you hate that? I'm so sorry. Color burst, that's what it is. Thank you, Catherine. I have color burst somewhere, and that would have made the background so easy to do quickly. And I don't know where they are. Seriously. Let me come right back. Here, look at some stencils. Let me see if I can find them quickly. I have no idea where I put them. Okay, I don't see them. Here's what we're going to do. I have some spray inks. That's what we'll do. Real fast. Let's add some spray inks to the background. And we'll do this as my background. Ink blending is always a favorite technique. Yes, Sue, I agree. I just don't want to take the time because we've already been on here 42 minutes and sprays. I'm using the Salvage Patina Oxide Spray from Tim Holtz. Let's just do that because it's easy. Okay. Have my water. It's going to make a mess, but that's okay. We don't need much. We just need some color, right? Maybe I'll ink blend the feathers too. But I'm telling you, once you see these stencil butters, you're going to want to stencil butter everything. Let me get another color too, not just use that one. Do a couple one just for interest, right? Let me see if I can find a. Here we go. No. Let me find a blue, another blue. Something here. How about Mermaid Lagoon and Salvage Patina? No, too similar. I told you guys I don't plan anything out for cards and coffee. Sorry. It's kind of a get what you get. Hey, let's use the new saltwater taffy. How about that? I wanted blues, but ooh, is my husband here to help me with? He's worried I'm going to splatter all over my monitor. That's why he's bringing me paper towels. Oh, thank you. Look, he's such a good Sue crafter. He's the support personnel, right? Love that. Thank you, dear. So I've got my water bottle. I have new saltwater taffy, oxide, and Salvage Patina. So let's get these going. I do not have a plan because honestly, like I said, I did not remember what I had chosen and wasn't sure exactly what Jamie would put in the box. So, ooh. Now, do you see how these react on the Bristol Strathmore smooth paper? Let's get those moving and running just a little bit. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit, right? We're going to get a little bit of mud right there. That's okay, right? There we go. Now let this dry a little bit. We just needed some background interest. I'm not thrilled with what colors I made. I would have preferred blues, but that's okay. Paula, hashtag replay, right? She missed the stencils. I know, see? Me too, Sue. But that's where me and mixed media sometimes, you know, you have to let it go. Let It Go is a great theme song, right? But in mixed media, this is where mixed media and I sometimes we wrangle because I'm kind of a perfectionist and you have to just let it go, right? So I'm drying. This is the problem when you add lots of water, right? We'll sop some up and see what happens. There we go. I'm okay with that. We just needed some background interest, right? I love the splatters. I love, can you see that right there? I love the organic feel, the watercolor feel. I like the edges of that. That's kind of what I wanted. So I'm good with that. The thing is, here's what, I already don't like this. Here's why I don't like what I did here, because we're going to be using very bright colors with these. So now I'm thinking I'm not going to like this background. It's not going to go together. Not happy already, because my stencil butters are bright colored, and this is kind of a soft whatever. If I just left it blue, that would have been fine. So, you know, sometimes in lives it doesn't go the way we're thinking. You guys okay if I start over? Because now I'm not going to be happy with that. Get rid of that one. Let's do a new one. Sorry. This is what happens when I don't have anything planned out. Let's do this again. And I'm going to pick a different color. This time I am picking, Mermaid Lagoon is now what I'm looking for, and of course now I can't find it. Where did I do it? Here it is. Let's just use this, and we won't use any other color with it, and then that'll be a good background for the bright. It won't kind of mess with the bright colors of the stencil butter. I had a friend, coworker from a stamp store years ago that used to say, finish what you start, even if you don't like it. It might turn out. Sue, was hers stuck in YouTube history forever? There's a video I have, and I'm not going to tell you which one, that I hate. Like, I think it's like the worst project I ever made. And I have it on my YouTube channel, and once it's there, and I'm not going to take it down because I can't believe how many people have watched it. And I hate it. I think it's like the worst thing that I artistically, it doesn't look good, it's not balanced, and I cannot stand it. But I will not take it down because it's gotten so many views, and it must have something for someone out there. But if I have to live with it and I already know it's going to be bad, then I'm not going to put it out there. I'm just saying. Because once it's up, I try not to take things down. But ooh, look at that. I love that movement and that organic feel. And that'll be, oh, I love this down here, these little veiny things. So it's fine if you're just playing and in person, but in all honesty, I think when I'm out here kind of putting myself out there, I don't want to give you guys stuff that, I mean, sometimes I'll do something and I'll tell you why it doesn't work. And I think that's a good example. No, Sue, I hate the video. Artistically, it is the ugliest. It doesn't work. It doesn't have a good focal point, and I hate it. I hate it. But you know what? We're not perfect, and maybe someone can look at it and figure out why it's bad. And that's okay. But if I know it's going to be bad and I want to show off these gorgeous stencils and stencil butters, I don't want you guys to think, well, that's ugly. Why would I want that? Because it's not the products. It would be because of what I've done with it. So I want to put my best foot forward is basically what I'm saying, right? I kind of like that these paper towels add a little bit of interest because they kind of make little dots on it, but we just want it dry. It doesn't have to be perfectly dry. No. My crafting support personnel is probably going to be fired already. First day on the job, fired if he puts that up. Okay, there we go. Your Bristol Strathmore smooth paper will warp a little bit. I mean, it's not like it's watercolor paper. but it's okay. We'll take it. I am not going to use pixie dust on here, which sometimes pixie spray. We are going to tape it, and I'm going to use, I did find, this is the Altenew satin tape. I do take a little bit of tackiness off of it. So let's get this down, because I hate it when my stencils kind of pick up and move, and I don't get the nice, perfect, once again, some people don't mind, but I'm kind of nutty about my stencils sticking down. How pretty is this? Seriously. And let's do a rainbow, because, you know, rainbows are always good. Rainbows are always good. And then I'm going to even tape this paper down, because I don't want it to move around. I kind of wish my CSP would get me a new cup of coffee. That would be fantastic. I found a 3M delicate purple painter's tape, and it works pretty good. Good to know, Sue. I have to tell you, this is from Altenew, and I do love it. I have to say, love it. It's fantastic. Thank you, dear. And there's another one. Who is the, let's see, wait, let me think. We're going to do pink, gamboge, marigold. We got to do the rainbow, right? Lime green, turquoise, and orchid. Here are the colors. Let's do these in the rainbow. Fuchsia, marigold, gamboge, lime green, turquoise, and orchid. Ta-da! How pretty is that? Let me get a palette knife, and why should I not be able to find my favorite one right now? This is not the one I want, but why can't I find my go-to? There it is. Here we go. That's the one I wanted. You can put these on with like a stiff bristle brush, but I love a palette knife. What's Catherine have to say? Go easy on yourself. A friend used to say there was only ever one person on this earth that was perfect. And that's true. That's true. And believe me, I will never tell you that anything that I do is perfect, for sure. I think we are our own worst critics, right? So let's start at the top, and we'll just go right down in. Can you show a jar up close? Want to see the label, please? Yes. This is the TCW stencil butter. This is the fuchsia. Okay. And I know Linda at Valley Stamp and Scrap, did my husband put that up? Oh, see, I got this from Valley Stamp and Scrap from Linda. She carries the full line of TCW things. And I know she says it sells like crazy, and she has an order actually going in for a refill. Now, I will tell you, here's something else I like. I bought these last summer, maybe even last spring, and did not put like the press and seal or anything over the top. And I only open it every once in a while, and look, not dried out. There's another company that sells some mousse and things like that, and it dries out very quickly. Look at this. Perfect. Not dried out at all. So this is the consistency. Can you see it? Like a thick frosting, not even really thick frosting, like a medium thick frosting. It holds all of its peaks and valleys. It's what we would call a heavy bodied kind of substance. And you won't need that much. So I don't want to waste it, right? And let's get started. So I'm going to start up here. And no, Sue, I know, isn't that fantastic? no drying. And I tell you, that one company, it makes me so mad because theirs dries out very quickly. So we're just going to go right down the rainbow line, okay? And we're going to, and you can make it as thick or as thin as possible. I'll do it a little bit thinner because we want it to dry maybe, but you can add the peaks and you can add the valleys. And many times on mixed media, I like to make it pretty thick. But I'm not, lots of peaks and valleys. I like that texture. So that's the fuchsia. And I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Oops. There we go. What? I showed it to her already. Okay. I know, Paula, isn't it beautiful? This is Marigold. And I got some, this is going to get messy for sure. Look how pretty. Can you see that it's just got a hint of like pearl? Some of them have more than others, pearlescence to it. And like I said, you really don't need much. Can you see? I'm just putting a little bit, and we will mix it just a little bit. So I don't want to put it back into there. And if you do a rainbow, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 colors. So I always try to keep in mind my yellows and greens because these are about the normal rainbow I use. Yellows and greens, we normally plan for the middle. So that's what I'm trying to keep in mind as I go, so that I have it somewhat evenly spaced, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just wiping off on a paper towel. A wet paper towel would be a little bit better, and if I weren't going to rinse the stencil right away, I would have a pan of warm, just a drop of maybe Dawn dishwashing detergent in there, or just warm water to be able to soak it in if I weren't going to clean it right away. Look how pretty. And you don't have to be as precise, obviously. I like for my stencil to stay kind of stuck down, but I love I'm going to move it to give it some texture. And let's see. Sue says she's taking notes. Hi, April. Good morning. I don't know if I said, can I have a coffee too? Oh my gosh, her tornado sirens. Are you in Florida, April? I know the bad weather was moving through Florida and the South, the Carolinas, but I think it's right now in Florida, I think. So this is the lime green. So you see how easy and like I said, you can mix water with them and water them down to make I like to make splatters, or even like the runny kind of like drips and things. Love that. Okay. See how easy? I mean, wait until we pick this up. We'll get some oohs and ahs. Oh, April's in Louisville. You're getting that bad weather in Louisville. Oh, turquoise. Turquoise. Yes, please. Oh, I think I'm in love. Well, April, stay safe. I hope everything, I know Kentucky was hit. Tennessee has been hit, was hit 2 years ago with horrible tornadoes. And so stay safe. And you definitely deserve a cup of coffee. I know it's funny. I grew up in Ohio. There are tornadoes in Ohio. I didn't think Tennessee would have tornadoes like Ohio, but I guess they do. Isn't it, Catherine? I mean, come on. That's the turquoise. It's like a gorgeous peacock turquoise. pearlescent. Oh, like I could take a bath in that. And this is orchid. Oh my word. We go to the basement, and I definitely taught my boys, always grab your shoes and put your shoes on. And you always need your shoes if you're going to the basement, because if there was ever a tornado, you need to have shoes on to walk through the rubble and get yourself out. And so we grab things like important computers and our pets, of course, first, children and pets, and always take your shoes. So they're like, why? I'm like, because you don't want to have to walk through splintered wood and glass and rubble with no shoes on. So, okay. I know, Tammy, my friends Linda and Ed at Valley Stamp and Scrap sell especially stencil butters, the complete line. Are you guys ready for the reveal? That stencil butters are pretty fantastic. I'm going to take this tape off very gently. See how nicely that comes up? Love it. Ooh, you ready? Are you ready? Get ready for the oohs and ahs. Ta-da! Look how pretty. Look how pretty. Oh my, look. Now, I will let this dry. I have to tell you, I think I would love it on a black background to really show you, like those colors would pop on a black background, or just an all white background for a slimline card. But how pretty. Now, obviously it needs to dry. Can you see the dimension? Can you see that? I'm not sure that you can really see it on camera, but it held, and I could have put it on thicker. I mean, it totally held. Now, I will also be interested to see if it'll be flexible when it dries. I don't know. So we'll have to see that. But can you see all that dimension? Now, I will tell you one thing I also know about this. I know, doesn't it? And it's just, you know, this beautiful color, because the blue, if we had it on black, oh man, but how pretty is that? I love that. Yes, if we ink blended a background and made it a little bit softer, or just a white background with some splatters, we could add some white splatters on here now. Wouldn't that be pretty? Cut it out, put it on a slimline card, put a sentiment on it, boom. What an easy card that would be. And how pretty. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Isn't that gorgeous? And now, one thing I was going to say, if you don't know, the stencil butters you can heat with like an embossing gun or a heat gun. And some people love it because it will bubble up and you get even more a different kind of texture. I personally, I'm not a huge fan of the bubbling, but other people love it, and they will heat it and get that bubbly textured effect. That's kind of a cool thing. One more tip that you can do with these. So how pretty. We need to set this aside to dry, and then I would cut this out and put this on a card. Like I said, just add a sentiment and you're good to go. One other thing you could do is you could take a charcoal pencil or like a pit brush pen when it's all dry, and get like maybe add some shadow around here, and it'll make it pop more too, give it dimension, kind of look like a shadow on there. All kinds of things we can do, right? Add more splatters, things like that. So fun. And if we put some of that tacky when dry in certain spots, then we could use foil and add foil to it. Seriously, how pretty is that? I am kind of obsessed. You guys want to do real quick? We've been on for an hour and 5 minutes. Do you want to take just a minute and do the feather? We could do a black background, put it on black watercolor paper and make it easy. How about that? Should we do it? Who's up for that? Because this feather is too gorgeous not to use. This is the Slimline patchwork feather. Slimline patchwork. I have black watercolor paper. Ooh, and I need more. I'm running out. It's this kind. You can get it on Amazon. Stonehenge Aqua Cold Press Black. And it is pretty fantastic. And it'll make this easy because we'll do it right on the black. What do you guys think? What colors would you like to do your the feather in? Do you want to do like pinks, like analogous colors? Do you want to do the rainbow colors again? What would you like to see? We have the pearl white. Don't forget. We have black. Obviously, we don't want that on here. Ooh, we have the metallics. We have the copper penny. We could add some metallics in there. My CSP thinks he's being funny. There's no juniper mist. That's a dye ink pad. We have pearl white. Tammy says blue. Ooh, we do have the blue color up here. And there are other colors. I didn't show these. I might as well show all the colors. We have ocean blue. Isn't that pretty? Ocean blue. There's crimson, which is your red. Very pretty. It's like a cool red. It looks like a cool red. Let's see in the jar. Yep, that's a cool red. We have chartreuse. Look at the pearl in that. And it reminds me of obviously my Fiesta. I collect, the only thing in the world I collect is, besides craft supplies, is vintage Fiesta. And there's a line called chartreuse color. It's a vintage color. And then look at this, Terra Verte, or Terra Verte, however you say it, is a beautiful green with a pearlescent. Yes, Sue, remember I showed him at the beginning. Jamie sent me champagne gold. And there's a silver. I didn't get the silver, I don't think. Oh, yes, I did. Platinum. There's the platinum. And then the copper. Aren't they so pretty? Should we do these three? You want to do metallics? You guys pick real quick. Tell me what we could do metallics. We could do some colors mixed in with some metallics. What do you think? Okay, let's do the metallics. Sue already voted for everybody. Perfect. Thank you, Sue. Executive decision. So I am again going to take this down. And then, you know, one thing you could do it like, what if, here's an idea, you do it in copper and then you let it dry. And then you go back and very softly add in some of that turquoise and give it like a patina. How pretty would that be? Mix some white in with the turquoise to give it a variation of colors. I think that would be fantastic. Now I'm really taping this down because I don't want it to lift. I'm not a fan of when it seeps under, and that's always just the artist's fault for not, excuse me, really taping it down well. And so I like to definitely keep it down and not have any seepage under the stencil. Just me and being particular. Okay. Let's do some, this is the champagne gold stencil butter. Ta-da! Look how gorgeous. I mean, seriously, love it. And we'll do it in different spots. So it's not just like in one set place. And let's really make it thick in some spots, because I am all about those peaks and valleys. Cleaning it off. I do not like cross-contamination. This is the platinum. Ooh la la. Yes, I love rose gold too. That would be good to see in the line. There might be a rose gold. I don't remember. Rose gold would be good for sure. I'm putting this on thick. comes my CSP to make sure I've got enough paper towels. I know. Thank you. Oh, can you take this and run it under warm water? Don't run your hands over it. You guys, on these delicate stencils, don't forget when you're rinsing them off, do not start scrubbing it, because these very detailed stencils, you can easily ruin them. So just run water. And then what I do is maybe I set it off to the side on a paper towel and I pat it, but do not rub with a towel or even your hand. You can very easily damage. This is the copper penny. I love copper. You can very easily damage these delicate stencils. So I try not to rub them or be too abusive with them. I'm going to put this really thick on these scales. Can you see that? Can you see how well? I'm going to zoom in. It is holding, look at how it holds its body. It is like, it behaves almost like thicker paste, but it's still got that creaminess in it. And I'm all about lots and lots of dimension. So I will put it on thicker, knowing I need to be patient and let it dry. And then I do put the lid back on because I don't want to dry it out any more than I have to. Get this tape up. I'm excited for this reveal. And then that'll be it for today. I hope you guys like it. Before you go, if you'd be so kind as to give me a thumbs up, especially, you know, if you get thumbs up, it gets kind of more action, but also like and subscribe. If you subscribe, then you'll be notified when I'm going to go live or when I post a video. And my goal going forward in the next few months is to do a lot more videos. And oh my goodness. And I will probably be doing more lives on YouTube than I am on Facebook. Are you ready? This one, you guys, I think I got chills. Oh, wait till you see the dimension. I'm going to pick it up so you can see it. Are you ready? Oh my word. Tammy, go Google Valley Stampin' Scrap in Neenah, Wisconsin. And Linda has all of the TCW products. She has an online store. Okay. Oh, my husband put the link in the chat. Now, there's two links, he said. But if you can't find it, Google Valley Stampin' Scrap and just lay the paper towels down and then you just pat it. And then I have this one too. You guys. Huh? He's me. How can you see that? Look, can you see that, those peaks right there? I love this. You guys picked well when you said do the metallics. That's fantastic. Donna says, oh my. Donna, I'm not lying. Like I kind of got chills when I pulled the stencil up. That is too much. And I don't even know if you guys can see the platinum right here. When you turn it to the side, look at that. Oh my. I mean, what a gorgeous card. Can I just say, thank you. What a gorgeous card this is going to be. Think of this here, honey. Slimline card. Cut this out, slap it on a slimline card base, maybe put some string and kind of, you know, make it a little boho, put a sentiment on it. And who wouldn't love getting that in the mail? And how easy. You know what? I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of getting to the point where I love me an easy card because I sometimes spend hours and hours on one card. And sometimes I just need, and how pretty even to frame this and put this in your home as art. I would hang this here in my craft room or somewhere else in my home. I just think it's gorgeous. I am in love with that. So you guys, TCW unboxing, stencil butters, stencils, metallic stencil butters. Thank you, Jamie. I am thrilled. You guys are going to see me doing a lot more of this. And Sue, we will definitely do a rice paper project at some point, because stencils and stencil butters and, you know, all the gessos and stuff and the matte, what was this called? The gel medium, that's what you need with your rice papers. So all kinds of fantastic things, you guys. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Once again, hugs and prayers to everyone in the Ukraine fighting with everything they've got. We're going to support them. So thank you, Tammy. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us today. And you guys have a fantastic weekend, and stay safe, and hugs and prayers to everybody. And thanks, Donna. I really appreciate that. We'll be doing more of these. I love cards and coffee. It's very laid back, and you know, if there's something you guys want to see, let me know. I need ideas. So we'll be doing lots more TCW. Okay, you guys take care. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.